The dim light from the old desk lamp casts long shadows over the room, its warmth failing to cut through the bitter chill of the night. Outside, the wind howls, rattling the windows as if it knows something's amiss. Sitting on the edge of the bed, I sift through the pages of the evidence, my fingers trembling, the smell of old paper mixing with the sharp scent of cologne that lingers in the air. Every letter, every email, every conversation laid out in front of me feels like a bullet to the chest. How could I not have seen it sooner? The subtle shifts, the offhand remarks, the timing of his absence. All of it adds up now, each piece clicking into place like a jigsaw puzzle. A quick glance at the clock, 2:30 a.m. The silence is suffocating. I pick up the phone again. Her name flashing on the screen sends a shock through me, my pulse quickening as the truth begins to crystallize. He promised me he was working late, but she isn't supposed to be here. I swallow hard, the metallic taste of betrayal rising in my throat. This isn't just a mistake, this is deliberate. The cold touch of the screen against my fingers feels like the beginning of something I won't be able to stop. Everything changes the moment I hear the front door creak open. My heart skips a beat, and I freeze. It's him. Or is it? The footsteps sound wrong, too light, too quick. He's always slower when he's had a long day. I step towards the hallway, my pulse thudding louder in my ears. As I round the corner, I see her, his assistant, standing at the door, her eyes wide with panic. She isn't supposed to be here. Not at this hour. She's the one who's always so polite, so put together. But now, her hands are shaking as she tries to hide something behind her back. I don't speak, I can't. The words lodge themselves in my throat, each breath more labored than the last. The truth is out there, hanging between us like a blade. My mind races, trying to connect the dots, but it's like I've been walking in a fog all this time, and now, the fog is lifting. He's been lying. He's been hiding something from me all along, and this is the breaking point. Without thinking, I take the step forward, crossing the threshold of the room. The moment I do, everything stops. The pieces are all laid out before me, but it's too late to turn back now. This is the point of no return. We stand there in silence, neither of us willing to speak. The tension is palpable, thick in the air, as though it could snap at any moment. Her eyes flicker nervously to the side, avoiding my gaze. She knows I've figured it out. She knows I've connected the dots, and the realization hits me hard. She's been a part of this all along. A pang of betrayal cuts deep, but something stronger than anger takes root inside me, determination. I will get to the bottom of this, no matter the cost. I won't be the fool who overlooks the lies any longer. As I watch her shuffle uncomfortably in place, I realize how little I truly know about her. How many secrets has she been hiding? What's she been told to keep quiet? Her lips press into a thin line, as if preparing for a battle, but I won't let her off that easily. The pieces are falling into place, but I need to hear it from her. This is the moment where everything changes. This encounter will define everything that comes next. The truth has been laid bare between us, yet it feels like I am walking through a fog. Each day since that confrontation has been a blur of tension. I can still feel her eyes on me whenever I walk into the office. She knows I know. But she hasn't said a word, and neither have I. It's like the world has shifted, and we both stuck in the aftermath, unsure of where to go next. I've been digging deeper. I have to know what this lie is all about, why he did it, why she's involved, and what role I play in this twisted game. But every corner I turn, every new detail I uncover, only makes the puzzle more complicated. The phone records, the meetings I wasn't supposed to know about they all point to something bigger than I anticipated. A web of deceit, carefully crafted and intricately woven. My hands shake as I review the latest emails, but there's something inside me, a cold determination, pushing me forward. I won't stop. Not now. But what if I'm wrong? What if I've misinterpreted everything? I push the thought aside. I can't afford doubt. Not when everything is on the line. The phone rings at /s him. The one I've been trying to avoid. The one I need answers from. I hesitate, my fingers hovering over the screen. I've been playing it cool for days, letting the silence stretch between us, but I know I can't ignore him forever. I answer, but there's no warmth in my voice. He sounds calm, too calm. As if he knows that the storm between us is inevitable. He talks about the project, as if it's just another normal day, but every word out of his mouth feels like a lie. He's asking me to come over, to talk. Something doesn't sit right, and I can feel the walls closing in. There's no way I'm walking into his trap unprepared. I need help, but I can't trust anyone at work. That's when I think of her, the assistant. Despite everything, I can't ignore the way she hesitated back at the office. Something is wrong with her too, and maybe she can be the key to everything. Reluctantly, I reach out, my fingers trembling as I dial her number. When she picks up, I don't waste time. I tell her I need her help. Her voice is guarded, but she agrees to meet me. This could be my chance to uncover the truth and maybe even confront him. But there /s a dangerous edge to this new alliance. I can't shake the feeling that I'm walking deeper into a trap. I meet her at a small cafe on the edge of the city, the kind of place where nobody knows your name, where the noise from the street is muffled by the heavy curtains. The moment I sit down, the tension in her shoulders is palpable. She's been here longer than she admits, trying to avoid looking directly at me. But the moment I speak, her gaze sharpens. She knows I'm serious now. I lean forward, my voice low but steady. I need answers. She hesitates, but then she speaks slowly, as if the words are weighing her down. She tells me things I didn't expect, the meetings, the secretive phone calls, the money. It's all connected. But even as she spills the details, I can tell she's holding something back. She's too scared to reveal it all, but I push her, needling her with questions. I have to know how deep this runs. The weight of her words crushes me. The life I thought I knew is unraveling before me, piece by piece. Each new revelation pulls me further into a world I never wanted to enter. But I can't stop now. The cost of getting to the truth is steep, but it's one I have to pay. I hadn't anticipated the truth hitting me so hard. The phone call came in the dead of night, and I almost didn't pick it up, but something in me told me to answer. The voice on the other end was unfamiliar, a deep, cold tone that sent a chill down my spine. He didn't introduce himself. Didn't need to. He just got straight to the point / "You've been asking the wrong questions, / I froze, the blood draining from my face as the weight of his words settled in. The room seemed to contract around me. He knew everything. The lies, the deceit, all of it. The lies I had uncovered didn't even scratch the surface. My mind spun, trying to piece together the implications of what he was saying. I asked him who he was, but he only laughed, his voice like gravel scraping against stone. Then he dropped at the bombshell that shattered everything I thought I knew. The assistant, my partner, they weren't the ones pulling the strings. It was someone else. Someone far more dangerous, someone I could never have anticipated. My whole world tilted as the ground beneath me began to crumble. I was playing a game with rules I didn't understand, and now I was trapped in the chaos I had set in motion. This revelation wasn't just an answer. It was a warning. The truth was like a poison I couldn't stop swallowing. The revelation had shattered the illusion of control I thought I had over my life. The assistant was only a pawn. My partner, a mere actor in someone else's twisted game. And the more I dug, the deeper I sank into a hole of manipulation and lies. The voice on the other end of the line had made one thing clear: if I wanted to stop the chaos, I had to make a choice. A choice that would irrevocably alter the course of everything. The game wasn't just about exposing lies anymore, it was about survival. The one who held the power knew my every move. They knew my fears, my desires, and they played me like a puppet. As I sat there in the silence of the night, the weight of the decision bore down on me. What would I sacrifice to gain control back? What would I lose? The choice was clear now. Either I gave up everything I held dear, or I walked straight into the heart of darkness and took the risk of ending it all. My phone buzzed again, the screen flashing with a new message, one final push. I didn't need to read it to know what it said. It was time to act. The path forward wasn't clear, but I had no other choice but to step into the unknown. I stood at the door, the weight of the decision still fresh in my mind. This was it. The moment when everything I knew, everything I had worked for, was about to change. I glanced one last time at the apartment I had once called home. Now, it seemed like a distant memory, a life that was slipping away with every second. I stepped outside, the cold night air biting into my skin, and walked down the street towards the unknown. There was no turning back now. I had made my choice. It felt like I was walking toward my own destruction, but somehow, the feeling of inevitability was even stronger than fear. As I approached the location in the message, the city seemed to shift around me. The familiar streets felt alien, the night cloaked in a different kind of darkness. I wasn't just walking toward the end of this nightmare, I was walking toward a truth that could break me forever. But I had to know. I had to see it with my own eyes, even if it meant losing everything in the process. The choice was made. The path was set. And the person I was walking toward wasn't the one I had expected. They were far worse. The streets are empty now, the city sleeping as I make my way toward the final confrontation. Every step feels like an echo of the last, reverberating in my mind with the weight of what I'm about to do. The moment I entered this game, I knew I couldn't escape. But now, as I stand outside the looming building, the cold air pressing against my skin, a strange stillness falls over me. It's as if the world itself is holding its breath, waiting for what comes next. I have no illusions left. The person I'm about to face isn't the same one I thought I knew. They're a ghost, a shadow of everything that's been hidden. But there's one thing I'm certain of, the truth I've been chasing has finally caught up with me. And in that truth, I'll either find the strength to end this, or it will consume me completely. I glanced down at the text message, the final clue guiding me here. It's almost time, but I can't shake the feeling that something isn't right. The city feels distant, unfamiliar, as though the ground beneath my feet is about to crumble. My heartbeat quickens as the door to the building looms closer, its frame dark and foreboding. The calm before the storm is here, but I know it won't last much longer. There's a choice I'll have to make once I step inside, and it's one I won't be able to undo. I step into the building, the sound of my footsteps echoing down the long, empty corridor. The silence is oppressive, almost suffocating. The air smells stale, and the walls seem to close in with each step I take. My heart pounds in my chest, the adrenaline surging as I move forward, the truth just within reach. The hallway stretches endlessly, the dim lights overhead flickering intermittently. As I reach the door at the end, I hesitate. What am I walking into? Every instinct tells me to turn back, to forget everything I've learned. But the hunger for answers, the need to confront the puppeteer pulling the strings drives me forward. I can't walk away now. The door creaks open slowly, revealing the shadowy figure standing in the center of the room. They're waiting for me. The person I've been chasing, the one who has orchestrated this entire game, is finally here. Their silhouette is almost impossible to make out, but I know they're the one who holds the power now. I've crossed into their territory, and there's no going back. The confrontation begins, silent at first, as we circle each other in the dim light. Words aren't needed, every movement, every glance speaks volumes. But I can feel it, the inevitable clash between us, the clash that will define whether I leave this place alive or not. The room is thick with tension, and every second feels like an eternity. The figure before me doesn't speak, they don't need to. Their presence alone is enough to make me realize the depth of my mistake. I've been playing a game I wasn't ready for, a game where the stakes are life and death. They step forward, a slow, deliberate movement that sends a chill through me. The closer they get, the more I understand, they don't want to kill me, not yet. They want something worse. They want me to become part of this twisted reality they've created. The silence stretches between us, heavy and suffocating. The truth is here, in front of me, and I have a choice. But it's not the choice I thought I would make. To stop them, to stop this madness, I have to sacrifice everything I've built: my career, my relationships, my very identity. They won't let me walk away, not unless I give them something of equal value. The weight of the decision presses down on me, but as I take a step forward, I know there's no turning back. I make the choice. The sacrifice is mine to bear. And with it, the final pieces of the puzzle fall into place. I can't save everything, but I can stop this nightmare before it consumes me. The door slammed shut behind me as I stepped out of the building, the weight of my sacrifice still settling over me. I could feel the sharp sting of the decision, but it wasn't just the loss that haunted me, it was the knowledge that I had been a part of something much darker than I had ever realized. My hands trembled, my mind racing through the events that led me here. The choice had been made, but now, there was no relief. Only the echoes of what had just transpired. The city outside was quiet, too quiet, as if it too was holding its breath. The streets felt unfamiliar, colder than before, and the familiar hum of life seemed far away. I walked, but I wasn't sure where to go anymore. There was no home to return to, no comfort to seek. What I had done had sealed my fate, and nothing would ever be the same. But as I walked, I realized something: the truth had set me free. It had cost me everything, but I was no longer trapped by the lies. I had confronted the darkness, and while it had claimed its price, I had emerged scarred, but alive. And for the first time, I felt like I could breathe again. The aftermath wasn't a clear-cut resolution. There were no neat endings. Only the mess I had left behind, and the only thing I could do now was keep moving forward. There was no going back to the way things were. I was a different person now, and the world I had known was nothing more than a fading memory. Days passed, and the world moved on as if nothing had happened. But for me, everything had changed. I couldn't pretend anymore that things were the same. I had lost people, I had sacrificed parts of myself, but I had also gained something. A new understanding of who I was, what I could endure, and what I was willing to sacrifice for the truth. The city around me continued its relentless pace, its noise, its people, but I was no longer a part of it. I had become an observer in my own life, watching from the sidelines as the pieces of my old world crumbled. There was a peace in that distance, in the realization that I was no longer bound by the lies or the people who had tried to control me. Yet, even in this new equilibrium, I couldn't escape the feeling that something was missing. Something fundamental. I had taken everything I could from this experience: the truth, the closure, the sense of self, and yet, I still felt empty. The sacrifice had been necessary, but it had left a void. One that could never be filled. In this new world, I was free, but freedom, I realized, wasn't always a gift. Sometimes, it was a burden. I had thought the truth would set me free, that it would bring an end to the chaos, to the uncertainty. But now, as I sit in the quiet of my apartment, the weight of everything settles on me. The phone never rings anymore. The messages have stopped. The noise of the world has faded, and all that's left is me and the ghosts of the choices I've made. The truth isn't always a weapon of liberation. Sometimes, it's just the final piece of a puzzle that you can never fully put together. The pieces fit, but they don't make sense anymore. There's no neat ending to this story, no resolution, no closure. Only the echoes of what came before. The silence is louder than any truth could ever be. But I've made peace with that. This is the price of knowing. The price of being free. I am who I am now, shaped by the truth, by the lies, by the sacrifices. And in this quiet, I finally understand what I've become. It's not a hero or a villain. It's just me. And maybe, in the end, that's all that matters.